Breeze.
Hello, welcome back. Now, getting the perfectly toned bum can be like raising the Titanic for some of us, especially myself. But there's no excuse. Irene Estry is around, so put your cup down and join in these home exercises.
Today we're going to be showing you a series of exercises to tone and firm up the buttocks. The buttocks are the largest muscle in the body and really need working on if they're going to stay shapely. So we'll go over to Melissa now, who's already waiting on the floor, nicely positioned with the shoulders down and head and neck relaxed. Knees in parallel and feet forward. Now Melissa's going to gently squeeze up her buttocks, pelvis a little higher and then down. And we'll leave Melissa with this little squeezing and releasing motion while I show you a few exercises that you can do in an upright position. Start with your knees and feet in parallel, your tailbone down and relax. Stick your bottom out, flat back, and then pull up through the stomach. So out, really getting behind those heels and back up, pulling out and up. Let's do a few more. So we're squeezing it back and lifting it up through the abs. Don't lock your knees on the way back. So really lifting forward, down and up. Squeezing just one or two more. And we'll make this a final one. And relax. We're going to change the movement slightly now, working with Melissa lying on the front. On all fours now, Melissa, up you come. So on all fours, Melissa taking this front leg back, pulling in her tummy and making sure the neck's in a nice alignment. Lifting the leg up and down from the hips, keeping the hips even. I'm going to stand up and show you a similar movement standing up. So we're pulling the knee and then squeezing it back, and the squeeze starts as soon as the leg goes back. So you're pulling in and you're squeezing back, pulling in. And don't forget to do the same amount of movements on the other leg. It's vital the supporting knee remains very soft and the abs are hollowed out throughout the range of motion. Squeezing in. These will work all these little areas here and make sure that you don't create flabby bits. Little lift up now. We can both do those little pulses at the end of the range of motion, and then we can flex the foot and curl the heel into the buttocks and out. Try to keep the knee very still, into the buttocks, out, pulling into the buttocks and out, pulling into the buttocks, out. And then from here we can do a few more lifts, up and up, checking all the way through the motion that the knee is soft and supported, no hollowing of the back. I'm going to move over to Melissa now, and she's going to stretch very deeply. We're stretching all these buttock muscles. It's vital to use these muscles as often as possible to keep them nice and toned and trim.
I want to know who that woman is you just dragged off the street there, Irene.
No, it's a young lady that I've trained.
Oh, of course, we've got our wonderful medical advice. We've got Irene here, and we have Dr. David White as well. And we've got our audience members there just desperately wanting to ask some questions. I know we've got Amanda first. Hi, Amanda. You want to ask a question?
Yeah, Irene, if I do a couple of hours exercise a week, would that be enough to get me fully trained and toned?
Well, yes. A couple of exercises a week, a couple of hours a week. I think consistency of about 3 or 4 30-40 minute sessions spread over the week with the day's rest in between, and it would give you all the toning you need, keep your heart and lungs strong. But you have to find something you really enjoy or you won't stick at it. So it's better to do a little less more often so that you're getting used to your programme, enjoying your programme, and sort of develop a little bit more speed so you get a bit more sort of heart rate workout. And if you were to walk, which I'm sure you do, if people walk sort of 20-30 minutes a day or every other day, you get really, really fit. In fact, you can lose quite a few pounds at the end of the year without even changing your diet.
Gosh,
and if you want to target in muscles, so if there's a particular group of muscles that you don't like older ladies, you're not in that category, but I am, who don't like their arms, could do certain arm exercises. So, as it so happens, I showed you little flies. Now, what I'm using here is what I do use when I work here. These are water wet bottles filled with sand. So if you pull out like this, do something to add a little bit of tone and definition to the arms. You can do a lot, so you can then lift your arms up above the level of your heart and down. So you've got this resistance that will give you a nice muscle contour. But then the question's asked, Amanda, what is the perfect shape? And my colleague has got his views on what he thinks is a nice female shape, don't you, David?
Be very careful, David. Be very careful indeed.
Well, fortunately, there's a medical aspect to it in terms of just the ratio of the weight to the height is actually more important, not the overall shape. Your body mass index, and ideally you want to be about 25, 26 in terms of the ratio of, it's actually the weight to the height squared.
Gosh, that sounds very complicated.
It is, but we can actually link it to health. We know that as that ratio actually increases, it is started to be associated with ill health effects.
Right.
In terms of, Irene was asking just personal choice, and basically you just don't want sort of sharp, bony angles prodding in, as it were.
Right.
So
what exercise do you do at the moment?
Well, I walk the dog every morning, which is about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Every morning?
Every morning.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, she's doing very well.
Yeah.
It's all about, really, you've got a good shape, keeping that shape nice and toned. It's really not about being thin anymore. That isn't the buzzword.
No,
it's
it isn't about being thin.
No.
It's about being normal shape.
Yes,
which
normal
is
shape,
anything.
ladies, toning it all up.
And it's true, isn't it? The average size of the British woman is size 14 to 16, isn't it?
And just keep it all nice and toned and tight and firm.
Absolutely.
Yes, and not worry about it. Just enjoy it. If you don't enjoy your exercise plan, you won't stick to it. So it's got to be something you will enjoy.
Thank you.
And all my exercise is that. So
Well,
you've got
that's
to do
okay. It's good for the arms. Do it with a weight. Do it with a weight. Do it with a weight.
Joe, you've got a question.
Yeah, Dr. White, this is for. I've wanted to give up smoking for quite a few years now,
Right.
and 12 months ago I did, but the inevitable happened and the weight came on. How long normally is it before your body readjusts to the metabolism that really it should be at when the smoking has stopped?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things that happen when you give up smoking. One is that some people do put on weight for an assortment of reasons. The